Homily for the 33rd Sunday in Ordinary Time, Year A. The theme of this Sunday's homily is gifted with the task to entrust in turn to the giver for the common good. Once I had received an image of a poor man in street being given by Jesus a piece of bread long enough to eat. My mind noticed very keenly at the bread. So I noticed the long piece of bread resembled a brick. I thought to myself, Jesus today invites us to give bricks to the poor, to use them to construct a home wherein he can taste the piece of bread in dignity and with his family. Dear brothers and sisters, as we are celebrating the World Day of the Poor on this Sunday, let us meditate on the above theme, gifted with task to entrust in turn to the giver for the common good. Everything is a gift of God and it belongs to Him. Human person is the gift that belongs to God first and then entrusted to Him as gift in return uncontaminated. To return the gift back to God involves a task, a responsibility, a hard working according to a life worthy of the gift that is received. This is the message the 33rd Sunday calls us to reflect on and to put into practice. Accordingly, the first reading from Proverbs exclaims about the wife as the worthy person found by the husband to whom he entrusts himself completely. This wife who is given to the husband as gift beyond any pearl puts herself in action or in task to carry out the activities worthy of the person herself. By gift, wife is all worth and good, and by task, she aligns herself to do the good. In this way, she is faithful to her husband and in turn to God. The second reading from 1 Thessalonians chapter 5, 1 to 6 speaks about the day of the Lord. St. Paul says that the Lord's day will come like a thief at night. Those who are in dark doing evil actions against their good nature cannot recognize the Lord due to their life in complete darkness. It is like missing the anchored boat just in front of the person who doesn't know swimming. But for those who are already in the light, that is, those who do good human actions according to their nature as good and redeemed by Christ, need not worry about the Lord's day. The Gospel of St. Matthew chapter 25 verses 14 to 30 invites us to use our life as gift and task while waiting for the Lord's day. Without dwelling into details, let us examine the three imperatives of today's Gospel. The first imperative, settle the account. We are called to settle the account. What we have received as gift are to be given back to God as a task when He comes to settle the account with us. If we have gained 5 out of 5 or 2 out of 2, it means that our life as gift has already been aligned with our nature as good, so that we are able to carry out the task that has made us gain 5 out of 5 or 2 out of 2. This shows we have benefited a lot out of these given talents. The second imperative is surrender the extra talents for the common good. We are called to entrust God the gained talents to use them according to the universal destination of goods about which the encyclical Fratelli Tutti helps us a lot to understand. Number 119. In the first centuries, many thinkers developed a universal vision on the common destination of created goods. This led them to realize that if one person lacks what is necessary to live with dignity, it is because another person detains it. Pope Francis cites St. John Chrysostom saying, "Not to share our wealth with the poor is to rob them and take away their livelihood. The riches we possess are not our own, but theirs as well." Pope Francis, in this number 119, brings Saint Gregory the Great saying, "When we provide the needy with their basic needs, we are giving them what belongs to them, not to us." Number 120 of Fratelli Tutti says, "The principle of the common use of created goods is the first principle of the whole ethical and social order. It is a natural and inherent right that takes priority over others, which, according to St. Paul VI, should actively be implemented. Therefore, God gives us the talents so that we are able to produce more, and this more should not be accumulated in our pockets because it doesn't belong to us, but to God, to render them to those who are deprived of what is essential for a life worthy of their dignity." The third imperative is search to avoid counter effects. Any gift that goes wasted will have counter effects. The person who received one produced zero. The parable clearly speaks of his irresponsible behavior with three grave sins. 1. There was no shared responsibility from the part of the servant. Knowing that he would not be able to produce any more, he should have given to someone else the talent received, so that someone else would have brought out good results. This shows his shared responsibility, but he did not. The second grave sin is there was no proper planning. The unproductive servant lacked proper planning, which brought about disaster to himself, to his family, and to all his close associates who shared the same mentality. Pope Francis, in number 15 of Fratelli Tutti, says, "Our life nowadays has no longer healthy debates about long-term plans to improve people's lives and to advance the common good." In number 16, he says, "If he had planned well, the plan would set greater goals for the development of our entire human family." The third grave sin is indifference and cynicism. The servant had indifferent and cynic attitude, which did not help him to produce talents. In today's world, what reigns is a cool, comfortable, and globalized indifference which, unmindful of the great fraternal values, leads to a sort of cynicism. Fratelli Tutti, number 30. This character leads one to go down the road of disenchantment and disappointment, isolation and withdrawal into one's own interests. Fratelli Tutti, number 30. Dear brothers and sisters, this lack of shared responsibility without proper planning and with indifference and cynicism bring lots of counter effects. They are never the way to restore hope and bring about renewal, but it is closeness according to Pope Francis, it is the culture of encounter. It is the sense of belonging to a single human family. It is the dream of working together for justice and peace that will help the person to be protective of his own talents for his own good, for the common good, and for the good of those who are deprived of any good. The parable of the talents is very well portrayed in Fratelli Tutti number 123. All our activities are essentially noble vocations to produce wealth and improve our world. God encourages us to develop our talents, and He made an immense potential universe. In God's plan, each individual is called to promote his or her own development and to find the best economic and technological means of multiplying goods and increasing wealth. All abilities are gifts from God for the development of others and for eliminating poverty through the creation of diversified work opportunities. The right to private property should be accompanied by its subordination to the universal destination of the earth's goods, and thus the right of all to their use. Dear brothers and sisters, I would like to conclude my homily saying, Jesus calls us through the parable of the talents to follow those three imperatives set above. Settle the account with the giver when asked. Give the gained talents back to God so that He will use them through the people of goodwill for the common destination of goods. And have shared responsibility with proper planning and without any indifference and cynicism, so that nobody will go empty stomach, bare bodied, and roofless at night. May God bless us all. Thank you. For the William Hieronymus, M.I.